Welcome to the Missing Lens, brought to you by MSME Success HQ. I'm Ganika, bringing you the CEO Advisory Lens. If you have been following this series, you know we don't talk about business tips, growth hacks, or broad success stories. We decode how large organizations think before they make their biggest business decisions. And more importantly, what MSME founders often miss before making theirs. Because sometimes it's not the decision that changes your business, it is the way you think before making that decision. And today's missing lens is one of those moments. It's about one assumption that almost every founder makes without ever questioning it. An assumption that quietly shapes every new business, every new investment, every new diversification, and sometimes even the future of the family business. So, before I begin, I want you to answer just one question, not to me, to yourself. Think back to the last 5 years of your business journey. How many times have you genuinely believed this is it? This is the opportunity that will finally take my business to the next level. Maybe it was a new product, maybe a new market, maybe exports, maybe a dealership or a franchisee, maybe e commerce, maybe AI, or a new factory, or a new branch, maybe a large customer, maybe a partnership, maybe the capital loan, maybe a piece of land, or a technology, or a new manager. Whatever it was, at that point in time, it genuinely felt like the missing piece. You were not being emotional, you were not making careless decisions. You had your reasons, you had done your calculations, you had spoken to people. You had seen somebody else succeed. And you told yourself, if I don't do this now, I will be left behind. Tell me honestly, have you ever felt that? I have, and almost every founder I meet has, because that's what founders do. We look ahead, we imagine possibilities, we see opportunities before others do. That is not our weakness, that is actually our superpower. But every superpower has a blind spot. And today I want to show you one that quietly changes the direction of businesses without founders even realizing it. Have you noticed something? Every opportunity comes with a story. Exports, margins are much higher. Real estate, land never disappoints. E commerce, the whole world becomes your customer. A new factory, now we will finally increase our capacity. Hiring senior people, now I think I can step back. Technology, now everything will become automated. Every opportunity comes wrapped inside a promise, not a business promise, a personal promise. The promise that life will become easier, that the struggle is temporary. Then you're finally moving towards the business you had imagined when you first started. And that is where today's missing lens begins. Because very few founders are actually chasing another business. Very few founders are chasing another product. Very few founders are chasing another market. Most founders are chasing something much deeper. They are chasing the promise attached to it. The promise that says, once this happens, things will finally settle down. Just stay with that thought for a moment because I want to ask you another question. Have you noticed that every phase of your business has had its own versions of once this settles? When you started your business, once I get regular customers, then once I hire few more people, then once I buy my own office, then it became once this loan is cleared, then once this factory starts, then once this new venture settles. Tell me, has that sentence ever really left your life or has it simply changed its ending? Because if you are like most founders, the sentence has remained exactly the same, only the opportunity has changed. And that's the trap I want to explore with you today. See, starting something new is not at all wrong. Opportunities are not dangerous, but because there is one assumption hidden underneath that sentence that almost every founder makes. And once you realize it, your perspective about business growth will shift. So let's understand what is actually happening inside a founder's mind. Imagine a founder who started a business few years ago, let's say 10 years ago. The first few years were tough. Customer had to be found. Suppliers had to trust him. Cash flow was always uncertain. Every order felt important. Every payment mattered. Every customer complaint felt personal. Slowly, things started improving. Customers started coming back. Revenue became more predictable. The business survived because the founder refused to give up. Now, tell me honestly, after spending few years building something, what is the next thought that naturally come into founder's mind? Very rarely does a founder says, I have built enough. No. The thought is usually, now it's time to think bigger. That sounds perfectly logical. In fact, people around you also start saying it. Now your business is settled. Now you should diversify. Don't depend on just one business. There is a lot of money in this sector. You should also enter exports. You should also start manufacturing. You should look into real estate. You should also create your own brand. Have you noticed something? Nobody says before you start the next thing, let's understand what your current business has actually become. Instead, every conversation is about the next opportunity. And slowly, the founder starts believing maybe this is what I'm missing. Why? Do you think is he greedy or he gets distracted easily? No, because every opportunity comes with a promise. Export promise global growth. A second business promise another source of income. Real estate promise long term wealth. A new factory promises higher capacity. Technology promises better control. A senior hire promises freedom. Every opportunity quietly whispers the same sentence: your life will become easier after this. Now, here is the interesting part. Let's say the founder enters export. The first year goes into understanding the market, finding buyers, understanding the documentation, learning quality expectations. Fair enough. Every new business needs time, nothing unusual. Then, while exporters still finding their feet, another opportunity appears. Somebody says the domestic market has become too competitive. Another founder says private label is where the real money is. Someone else says people are making huge margins selling online. And suddenly the founders start thinking again, maybe this is what I'm missing. Have you noticed what's happening? The founder never really stops. Not because he lacks focus, but the hope keep changing direction. Every new opportunity promises to solve something the previous one could not. Now, pause for a moment. I want you to think about your own journey. Think about the last big decision you made. Maybe you expanded, maybe you hired, maybe you invested in machinery, maybe you entered a new market, or you bought a software. Maybe you started a second vertical. Don't think about the investment, think about the expectation. What were you secretly hoping would change after that decision? Would cash flow become easier? Would you finally get time for your family? Would you stop worrying every weekend? Would the team become independent? Would customers stop depending on you? Would you finally feel I have made it? Now ask yourself another question. Did that actually happen? Not the revenue, not the turnover, not the asset value. Did the promise happen? Very few founders ever ask themselves that question. Because before they get a chance to answer it, life presents another opportunity. And the mind quietly says again, maybe this is the one. I think this is one of the biggest blind spot in growing businesses. Founders don't keep chasing businesses. They keep chasing the promise attached to the business. And because that promise remains unexamined, every new opportunity feels like the answer. The first opportunity promised freedom, the second scale, the third promised wealth, the fourth promised stability. And after 10 years, the founder has more businesses, more responsibility, but somewhere inside he's still waiting for the feeling that the very first opportunity has promised. That is the trap, not diversification, not ambition, not growth. The trap is believing the next opportunity will finally give me what the previous one could not. And until that belief is questioned, every new opportunity looks like progress. Now, let me show you something that changed the way I think about growth completely. When I was working with large global organizations, I used to think they became big because they also kept entering into new territories, new businesses. That's what most of us believe, isn't it? Reliance kept expanding, Adani kept expanding, Tata kept expanding. So naturally, we conclude growth means adding more businesses. But I realized this. I was looking at the last chapter of their story, not the first. Because before every new business you see today, there was another business quietly becoming stronger for years. Let's take Reliance. Today we see telecom, retail, digital, green energy, media, financial services. It looks like they keep entering one business after another. But ask yourself, what funded all of this? What gave them the confidence to keep expanding? It wasn't hope, it was not excitement. It was the fact that every existing business had become a stronger asset than it was a few years earlier. Now, think about Adani: ports, logistics, energy, airports, infrastructure. Again, from the outside, it looks like diversification. But internally, every new business was built on strength of an existing engine, not on the assumption that the next business would solve the problem of the previous one. That is the massive difference. Now, let's bring this much closer to home. Imagine you own a manufacturing business. It's been running for some years now. Revenue is coming, customers are there, business is surviving, and somebody tells you there is a lot of money in exports. Immediately, your mind starts calculating: what investment will I need? How long before I recover it? Who can introduce me to buyers? But have you noticed the question nobody asked? Before we enter export, has our existing business actually become more valuable over the last 5 years? Not bigger, more valuable, because those two are completely different things. If your turnover has remained almost the same, your margins have not improved, your dependency on the founder has not reduced, your ability to generate cash has not improved, then what exactly has appreciated? Think about any investment you make outside your business. If you buy a piece of land today, what do you expect 5 years later? That it should appreciate, right? If you invest in gold, what do you expect? That it should appreciate. If you invest in shares, what is the hope? That the value increases over time. Then why do we treat our business differently? Why do we call it stable? Simply because it is still running? Running is not appreciation. Surviving business is not appreciation. Even the constant turnover is not appreciation. An appreciating business becomes stronger every year. It generates better profit, better cash flow, better decision making, better customer loyalty, higher valuation. It becomes a stronger asset. Now, here is the interesting part. Large organizations know this. That's why before they ask what should we build next, they quietly ask another question. Has the business we already own become strong enough to fund our next dream? Not just financially, strategically, operationally, commercially, because they understand something most founders realize much later. A weak business cannot build a strong portfolio. It can only build more dependence. Now, think about many family businesses around us. The founder built one beautiful business over 30 years. That business paid for the house, educated the children, created respect in the society. Then the next generation joins. Business continues, customer continues, revenue also continues. But somewhere the business stopped appreciating. Margins become thinner, competition became stronger, innovation slowed down. And instead of asking, how do we make this business valuable again, the conversation changes. Let's start something new. Let's enter another industry. Let's diversify. Can you see what just happened? The new business is expected to create the excitement. The existing business quietly lost. Large organizations rarely think like that. They protect the engine before they build another vehicle because they know every new business will demand capital. But more importantly, it will demand the strength of existing business. And that is the missing lens. The real question is not how many businesses do I own? The real question is every business I own becoming a stronger asset every single year? Because if the answer is no, adding another business does not multiply wealth. It often multiplies complexity, and complexity has a way of quietly eating the wealth you thought you were creating. So, before we close today, I want you to do something that most founders never do. Don't think about your next opportunity. Think about your last 5 years. Look back, not at your turnover, not at the number of employees, not at the factories or machines, not even at the land you have purchased, not the new businesses you have added. Look at something else. Ask yourself, what has actually appreciated over the last 5 years? Has your business become more valuable, or have you simply become more valuable to the business? There is a huge difference, because if the answer is I have become better at solving problems, I have become better at handling customers, I have become better at managing cash flow, I have become better at taking decisions. Then let me ask you another question. Has your business learned all of that with you? Or have you been carrying that learning alone? Because one day, whether it is your children, your leadership team, or the next generation, they won't inherit your experience. They will inherit your business. And those are two very different inheritance. Large organizations understand this deeply. They don't just build successful business, they build businesses that become stronger than the people who created them. That's why their businesses keep appreciating. Leadership changes, CEO change, markets change, technology changes, but the organization keep becoming more valuable. That is why today's missing lens is not about diversification. It's not about exports. It's not about real estate. It's not even about starting another business. It's about asking yourself one question before you chase the next opportunity. Is my current business becoming a stronger asset every single year? Or am I simply assuming it because it has survived? Because if your current business is not appreciating, the next business rarely fixes that. It usually postpones that conversation. And that's the conversation every founder eventually has to face. Now, this is exactly why Founder Reset has evolved so much over the last year. When I started working with MSME founders, I realized something. Almost every founder comes with a solution in mind. I need systems. I need automation. I need better sales team. I need another business. I need funding. But very few came with clarity. Very few could answer a much simpler question. What is my business trying to tell me right now? Because before you decide what to build next, you need to understand what you have already built. Has it become an appreciating business asset? Or has it quietly become dependent on your experience, your relationship, and your daily decision? And that answer cannot come from another webinar. It cannot come from another success story. It cannot come from any other consultant or the content you consume, because those are prescriptions. You need a diagnose, not a diagnose on your finances, not a diagnosis on your marketing, a diagnosis of how your business behaves, because every business behaves differently. A project based business behaves different from a manufacturing business. A doctor's practice behaves different from a retail chain. A consulting firm behaves differently from an exporter. And even within the same industry, two businesses can behave completely different because the founder thinks differently. That's why we rebuild the founder reset from the ground up. Today, the skill readiness diagnosis does not start by asking, what do you want to grow? It starts by asking, what kind of business have you actually built? How does it behave? What is helping it appreciate? What is silently reducing its value? Where is founder dependency increasing? Where is operational strength increasing? Because until you can see that, every new opportunity looks exciting. And once you understand this, you stop chasing opportunities, you start choosing them. And there is a world of difference between the two. So before you leave today, I want you to remember just one sentence. Don't ask whether the next opportunity will make you wealthier. Ask whether your current business has become valuable enough to deserve the next opportunity, because opportunities will always exist. Market will always change. People will always tell you where the next fit money is. But founders who build lasting wealth don't keep chasing opportunities. They keep building businesses that become more valuable every single year. And when that happens, opportunities don't need to be chased anymore. They start chasing you. And that is today's missing lens. I will see you in the next episode.